hope you guys can hear me. I am Abby from House of Keto, and I am getting ready to make dinner, a quick dinner that I'm gonna say I cheated because we are gonna use some of our buttered meats. If you don't know about our buttered meats, where have you been? Buttered meats are literally amazing. We make them in our crock pot with a stick of butter, half of a stick of butter on the bottom and half of a stick of butter on top of the meat. And I'm gonna show you here. This is a pack of chicken breast that I did. It's all shredded up. I don't know if you can see the liquid in there. It's just butter. You don't add any liquids. You don't add any gravies, canned, like noodle soup, all that type of stuff. I've seen people add different packets of stuff. You don't do any of that. It's just butter on the bottom of the crock pot, your meat on top of the butter, a ton of seasoning all around. I season right in my crock pot so I don't lose any of the seasoning, and then more butter on top. So tonight we are going to make something with that buttered chicken. We have some broccoli here. This is frozen broccoli that I've already basically put in the microwave and steamed. I threw half of it in my air fryer because I want to make tonight a really quick dinner so that I can show you guys. It's harder to show you guys in real time when stuff is like frozen or I have to cook it all the way from the beginning. Nobody wants to sit on a Facebook video that long. And then I have a pack of bacon that I cooked in my air fryer. Let me tell you why I hate the air fryer. One pack of bacon took me like 3 shifts in my air fryer. Everybody keeps telling me I need a bigger one, but I'm really not a fan of the air fryer. But I didn't feel like doing it in my frying pan or in the oven the lazy way. I just throw it in the air fryer and then I'm done. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here in my pan is make my sauce, and I actually forgot my butter. So don't leave, guys. I'm right here. I just gotta grab my butter. Sorry, I'm here. That was really awkward, but I'm back now. So I'm gonna grab my butter. Usually I don't start our meals with butter because our buttered meats already have a good amount of butter in it, but we're gonna be making a sauce today that we're making first, and I wanna start my sauce with butter. So this is about 3 tablespoons of butter here. You can use avocado oil, you can use coconut oil, but the butter is just gonna give this a better flavor. And this pan has just been heating up, so we're just gonna get that melted around in here. You can obviously totally skimp on the butter. It is just regular salted butter. I don't use like a sweet cream butter or any of the special butters, just a regular butter here. And then I'm gonna add some heavy cream. It's about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. And we have our butter melting around. Now, you guys know I'm really, really big on seasoning, so you have to make sure that you're seasoning as you go. One of the things I always say is to season in layers. That means don't just season your food once. I like to do a lot of one-pan easy dishes because I'm like most people. I don't have time to just cook a bunch of stuff. So especially when you're doing one pan, you need to make sure that you season in layers. So that was just some sea salt, and then we're gonna do a little bit of black pepper. I'm usually really careful with the black pepper because whenever I cook with it, I start choking, and I hope I don't do it this time. If I choke, somebody call the ambulance. All right, so we just have salt and pepper in here, butter, and heavy cream. Now, I have 1 bar of cream cheese. Cream cheese, it's usually about a 8-ounce bar. You can sit it out and let it get soft, but if you get a bar, it's usually not gonna be soft. It's usually gonna be hard. You can also use, you can just put it in the microwave. I would say put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds at a time. If you do it all at once, it's gonna it gets really weird. It starts like bubbling and stuff and starts popping in the microwave. It might be fine, but it scares me. I just don't wanna be the one responsible for blowing up the house. So I don't let it go too long. So we have our heavy cream in here, we have our cream cheese, and we have our butter. If you guys have never made our keto cauli mac, this is basically the base that we start with our cheese sauce. Cream cheese, butter, and heavy cream. And you really can use any type of cheese in this dish that you want. Sometimes we use like Gouda and Gruyere cheese, but those cheeses are a little bit more expensive. I always get them from Aldi. I never pay like the $9 that they cost in most stores because that's just way too much for cheese, in my opinion. My palate is like very basic. I don't like Cheese Whiz, but you know, Velveeta is not keto friendly because it's like heavily processed and just has a lot of gunk in it. But I just like basic cheddar cheese. I'm not like a fancy cheese eater, so save money there. But the next thing I'm gonna do is add some cheddar cheese to this. You guys can definitely buy a big block of cheddar cheese and shred it up yourself. Or you can take a shortcut and buy pre-shredded cheese. I know everybody freaks out. They're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna kick you out. Now this bag is ripped on the side, so we have it in a Ziploc bag. Hopefully yours doesn't look like this. But everybody freaks out because they're like, oh, well, there's stuff in the cheddar cheese that's gonna kick you out of ketosis. It's not something in the cheddar cheese that's gonna kick you out of ketosis. It is the potato starch that they add to it. It's basically like a flour that they add to it just so that it doesn't stick back together. If you're gonna eat an entire bag of shredded cheese, it's going to be a problem for you. But if you ate an entire block of shredded cheese, it's going to be a problem for you. So I don't necessarily, you know, it's not, we don't have to call the keto police because you use shredded cheese. We do both. It really depends on what I have time for, but just because you eat shredded cheese, it's not automatically gonna kick you out of ketosis. Some people are very sensitive to it and they have a problem to it, but it's not that much. There is carbs in dairy anyway. Most people think that there isn't, but there is carbs in dairy. So we just have shredded cheese. I added the cheddar shredded to this. And as you guys can see, this is just thickening up and making a really nice sauce here. Now, I'm gonna wanna make sure that I turn this down on low because I do not want it to start to burn. But now, my favorite part, guys, we gotta add the seasoning. So this is onion powder. Just gonna add some of that. We are gonna add some oregano. And as you see, guys, I am not measuring. We're just giving these some shakes, okay? This is parsley, and we have some thyme that we're adding to this sauce. We have, is this open? We have some basil. We're gonna do a little bit of, this is paprika. So paprika is not spicy, just like chili powder. It's really just like a smoky flavor. Some people even think it's like a nut flavor. This is garlic powder. I usually go heavy on the garlic powder. I go through probably like a jar of this garlic powder a week. And you can either use some ground yellow mustard. That's what I'm gonna add here. Just a couple shakes of that. It's another thing that gives it like a really nice tang. It looks like I'm using a lot, but this one comes out really slow. Or you can use some spicy brown mustard. If you only have regular yellow mustard, then use that too. Just use a little bit. We just want it to have a little bit of a bite to it. So now I'm gonna stir this all around with this cheese here. Get the cheese nice and seasoned. Now, obviously the cheese already there's some salt in it. So you wanna make sure you don't go overboard. You can always add more salt. I say do all of your other seasonings, and if you need to add more salt, you can always do that. So we started with 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. I'm gonna add another 1/4 cup of heavy cream because we've got this mixed together quite well. As you see, we don't need to make a roux. We don't need to add any flour or thickening agent because the heavy cream and the cream cheese basically do that for us. So at this point, you could use this to make a mac and cheese with cauliflower, or if you have some like low carb, keto friendly noodles, you could do that. But what we are going to do is we are going to actually add and make our entire meal right here in this dish. So like I told you guys, we have our buttered meats. This is just shredded chicken breast. I'm just gonna go ahead and add this right to the pan. This is cold, right out of the refrigerator. We're gonna add this right here to our pan. This is cooked chicken breast. You could use cooked chicken thighs. If you want to use bone-in meat, you can do that as well. Take it off. You could do this with steak. You could do this with pork. Pretty much any protein that you want. And we're using this is probably going to be about 2.5 cups of meat there. And this is meat that we cooked in our crock pot earlier this week. We'll use it in a bunch of different recipes. Oliver's going to get a piece of chicken because it just flew off my thing. Oliver's upset because he wants food. All right, so we're mixing this chicken and cheese together. And here, that's really what we want to be coated is the chicken. We want that to be coated. The chicken is seasoned when we put it in the crock pot. We use salt, We use black pepper, we use garlic powder, and we use onion powder. Those are the 4 base seasonings that I pretty much use in all of my buttered meats. I don't like to give it too much of a heavy flavor one way or the other, like a really spicy flavor, or like a certain, region inspired, like a Mediterranean flavor or like an Italian flavor or Asian flavor. I usually don't do that in the crock pot, only so that I can use this a bunch of different ways throughout the week, and then I can re-season it. So we're using this now, and this dish kind of has like more Italian flavors, but if I wanted to take this dish and make a Asian flavored dish, I could do that as well, because my meat is only seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, and onion, and those flavors are pretty much universal. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my cooked broccoli. This broccoli is really just frozen broccoli. It's 2 bags of frozen broccoli. I threw 1 bag in the microwave so that it would thaw out, and I threw the other bag in the air fryer while I was waiting for my bacon to cool down. And my family loves broccoli, so you can just use 1 bag, but I'm gonna use 2. The reason I don't like adding the broccoli right to the cheese is because I don't really want the cheese coating the broccoli too heavily. I really want it to be coating the chicken. Oliver, you're not getting any of this. Oliver gets really sad when I don't let him have any food.
If you cook on like there and have a bunch of seasonings out,
Yeah.
He
knows I'm cooking.
And he sees the bacon.
And he knows there's bacon. All right, so we have broccoli, we have chicken in here. We started with heavy cream, butter, and a package of cream cheese and a bunch of seasonings. I'm actually getting ready to season this again because, like I said, we season in layers. So we're gonna add some oregano. Pen, can you get your dog, baby?
Sure.
Some oregano, some, what is this, thyme. Just sprinkle that around. Some parsley. Your parsley always comes out slow. It's slow or super fast. You don't get both. A little bit of granulated onion powder. We have a little bit of paprika. And again, the paprika just gives it a smoky taste. If you guys wanted this to be super spicy, you could add some cayenne. You could even add some crushed red pepper flakes. I don't want this one to be spicy. And that was a little bit of basil. And then some more of our ground yellow mustard. Or you could use just like if you have, Heinz? I don't know who makes the yellow mustard, French's yellow mustard, and some garlic powder, and we'll do some more salt because we didn't.
Just trying to be disruptive on purpose.
Salt. Oliver, he's trying to get food. All right, so we're just gonna mix this around, and this is looking really good, guys. So good. This was super easy. You could definitely make this all right in the pan. If you start with raw chicken, you could cut up the chicken breast, put it right in here. You could leave it whole. It wouldn't have to be shredded up, but our meat is shredded up because we did buttered meat style. So we really just have chicken, broccoli with a cheese sauce in here right now. And then we have our bacon. So I made a pack of bacon in the air fryer, which isn't necessarily my favorite place to make it, but it's the quickest. I'm just gonna use my hand to crush these up.
Because it's crunchy.
You like that? Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna add this bacon here. Obviously, if you're not just cooking for your family, don't use your hands, but I'm just cooking for my family. My hands are clean, but we're just gonna add this bacon right in here. Yes, babe. Only thing about the air fryer is the bacon doesn't get extremely crispy after you eat your dinner, okay? Can you see that I am doing something right now? So I don't know what you want me to do, where you want me to get another hand from to help you do what you're asking me to do. No, wait until I'm done, please. Y'all, this is the house of keto. Life doesn't stop just because we're here cooking. I know in your house you don't get a break to make dinner, like it's not uninterrupted time. So usually I would just put this in a Ziploc bag to crush it up and put it in here, but I didn't do that this time. So we're just add that bacon right there. My hands are pretty dirty. Let me just give these a rinse. All right, so we have our bacon right down in here. Oliver is not getting his bacon. If you guys don't know, our puppy Oliver, he is a teacup golden doodle. He is a keto puppy. So he basically eats everything that we eat. Only thing he can't have is like anything with the keto-friendly sweeteners in it, but he eats everything we eat. He knows what bacon is, he knows what it smells like, knows what it looks like, and he wants it. So that is why he is barking right now. So you guys, we're basically done. I don't know how many minutes that was. Add a few more minutes because obviously I cheated. I started with my frozen broccoli already defrosted in the microwave, but you could obviously start with fresh broccoli. And I started with my cooked buttered meats. But don't be mad because I started with cooked buttered meats. You can make cooked buttered meats too, and you can start off your meals like this. We use our cooked buttered meats in so many different things. Penelope has combined the chicken this week so far with salsa. We combined it this morning with some alternate sweets barbecue sauce, and we made some barbecue chicken sandwiches, and now we're having it in this dinner tonight. You can use it for chicken salad, so many different things. I'm gonna grab a bowl and show you guys what this looks like. All right, Oliver is back. He wants some more food, but he's not gonna get it because I am not sharing this. This is actually one of my favorite meals. Chicken, broccoli, bacon, cream cheese, and cheddar cheese. So we started with about 3 tablespoons of butter. We started with 3/4 cups of heavy cream, and then 1 package of cream cheese, which is about 8 tablespoons of cream cheese. We then added about 2.5 cups of cheddar cheese, made our sauce with some seasoning, and then we added our cooked chicken. I'm trying to get a good chunk of bacon. That's the thing, when you serve the meals, you get to get all the bacon. Nice big piece of bacon on top. Look at that. We are done. This is really, really delicious. I've made something like this before, but it is so good, so creamy and delicious. It's extremely, extremely filling. So like I was saying, we started with 3 tablespoons of butter. We then added 3/4 cups of heavy cream and a bar of cream cheese. Thank you, Oliver. A bar of cream cheese. We cooked that around in the pan, let it melt down, and then we added about 2.5 cups of shredded cheese. You can use any type of shredded cheese that you like. We used cheddar. We then added some seasoning to it. We used a bunch of different seasonings. We used parsley. We used thyme. We used salt. We used garlic powder. We used paprika. We used onion powder, oregano, and we used our ground yellow mustard. If you don't have this, you can use spicy mustard or regular mustard, or you can just take it out altogether. It really just gives it like just a little, like a punch to it. I don't really know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really good and I like it. And we also used some basil and then obviously some salt and pepper. We added that to our cheese mixture after we made the cheese sauce in here, and then we started adding our veggies. If you don't have broccoli, you have cauliflower, or you have spinach, or you have green beans, or you have zucchini, whatever vegetable you want to use, you can add that right to it and then add your protein as well. And then we added some bacon. If you don't like bacon, I don't know who you are and why you don't like bacon, because bacon is delicious, but you don't have to add bacon. You could just keep cooking and finish up just the way you are. You could add mushrooms to this, you could add peppers, you could add a bunch of different things, but a super quick, easy, keto friendly dish. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am about to go enjoy this because it smells really good and I'm super, super hungry. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you are not already, make sure to follow us on Instagram at house.of.keto. Make sure to follow our Facebook page, House of Keto, and make sure to visit our website, thehouseofketo.com. We would love to help you on your keto journey. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Bye, guys.